Oh, hello, everybody. Hello, hello. That are y'all in here? We got Vinwave. Vinwave.
Hello,
Yeah.
There he is.
hello.
There.
There he is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah.
chat.
And we got
Hello,
Jamie
everybody.
James.
Hello, everybody.
Y'all don't know how much this guy over here is sweating bullets right now. And of course, your host, Mighty Vicious, here to give it to you live. And so, look, it's been a long time coming. And I'm gonna let Jamie take over so he can kind of guide the show this week, so we can get his nerves unraveled. Okay, so Jamie, take it over. Tell us what we're doing today.
Okay, so today is a big day for us. As a lot of you know, we've been working on our project, Project Zero, as it's codenamed at the moment. And as we've been posting all week, we are finally at a position where we feel comfortable to show you guys something. Hence why I'm very nervous because this project means a lot to me and I just hope it goes well. Um, so, for those of you who don't know us, just in case there is anybody here that isn't exactly aware of who we are and what we do, we are a collective known as Lucid Nebula Studios, and we are a collective of dreams creators that are together to build an amazing game. And there is currently 9 members of us so far, and we've been working on this project now for a couple of months, 2 or 3 months, I would say. We've been working on this, and we want to just create an amazing experience for everyone to enjoy, and that's the goal.
And let's go ahead and throw out there that what is it? Del Real 306 is also part of Lucid Nebula, as well as OTMB Cobra Eddie. And we also have Zodira, and we have Justin Linville. We got a bunch of people. And unfortunately, we couldn't all be on today just because we weren't set up for it. So we wanted to pull in everyone that worked on the trailer directly, just to kind of give what we're about to go into. I think I gave away too much. Your eyebrow flickered. Your eyebrow flickered when I said
That's
that.
fine.
I'm paying all of the guys. I'm trying to do my job, but I'm paying full attention to Jamie right now because there's a lot of stuff that we still, someone still doesn't want to let me tell y'all. But I have been given the okay. I have been given the okay for one thing that we're gonna bring up later. I'm gonna bring up because I've been waiting to do it for like the last
Mm,
2 months now.
mm,
So
mhm,
anyway,
mhm.
where do you want to go from here, Jamie? Take us. Take us.
So I just want to say that the project that we're working on before we reveal it to you guys, uh, this project is very special and it's quite ambitious in the fact that the way it's developed. It's a very story-driven, emotional experience, and I know that can be difficult in dreams because a lot of dreams creations are very to the point. They're very short. A lot of them have a lot of humor, and that seems to go well with dreams. And I personally feel what we're doing is necessarily not what most people do in dreams. But I see that as a positive, that we're trying to be different and we're trying to create something that hits a completely different level. Not to hype it up too much, but I think what we have is something really special. And I just hope you all back us for it. I hope you support us on this amazing journey that we're going through. It's still in extremely early development, but just the dreams community has just given me so much. It's given us Lucid Nebula Studios. It's allowed me to meet all these amazing people, and we're all working together. We're from all different parts of the world, and it's just such an amazing experience. And it's a dream come true to be able to physically do something like this, and to have a community like yourselves that come to this show every week, and now we're finally showing you guys what we're working on. I just can't wait to see where it goes from here, and it's going to be an amazing experience throughout the journey with all of you.
So, did you want
Well said.
to? Yeah, like I could feel you in the words you were saying. Like
Preach.
you were just putting it all out there, sleeves
Yeah.
ripped off, everything just thrown on the table. So, uh, do you want to show the early comers what we've been working with to start this off, or do you want to wait for a while and we can talk more about the story of Project Zero?
I think we should show the people that are here now. We can always show it again at the end. I think people are ready. I don't want to make them wait any longer.
All right. Well,
Okay.
then, ladies and gentlemen, this is the wait another 3 months.
Don't tempt me.
Yeah, do not tempt him. You don't know how much this man is. He's been holding us all with reins, just like, no, not yet.
So thank you for coming to the announcement stream. It was fun. We'll catch you
yeah,
in 3 months.
we're glad we could tell you about it, and yeah, we'll see you in another 3 months. But no, here we go. I'm gonna mute us all, and y'all take it in.
You will awake in nothingness, and in nothingness, one thing is certain. You will know what it means to be alone. Like those that came before, our time has come to an end. All empires fall. Those left behind dictate the promise of tomorrow. Left for you, a riddle. Traces of our achievements reduced to memories. But with those memories, you will tread on what we were to determine what we will become. If we are to be at all.
PlayStation.
All right. So
I feel so
That-
much better already. Now that it's out
yeah,
there.
you just needed to blow the load.
Yes.
So that's everything for now. Well, not everything, but because somebody, but that's everything that we're going to be showing, and we will show it again later. But yeah, Jamie, tell us about the making of this. Tell us about how it works.
So, this is Deeno, and it's so nice to just be able to finally say the name and not say Project Zero anymore. So, everything is still in extremely early development, so take it with a grain of salt. Things will change as the development process goes on. But Deeno is it's a very emotional story about a robot that awakens in this unfamiliar territory, and he has no memory of who he is, where he come from, or what his purpose is in life at all. He is just a blank slate. And throughout his journey, without giving too much away, throughout his journey, he will discover who he is through memories. And he will learn everything that has happened before him in order to find out who he is. So it's a real journey of self-discovery. It's going to be very cinematic. There's going to be a very heavy amount of cutscenes to help drive the story that is Deeno. But there's also going to be very nice gameplay to the game as well. Deeno's going to have quite a few mechanics, and you will learn the mechanics as you go through the game. So there is a lot of progression with Deeno. And as I said, it's extremely story driven. So there's going to be quite a lot of collectibles as well, a lot of lore to figure out, a lot of different side stories. So yeah, it's a very, very story driven game. And we've put a lot of work into the story to make it as we've tried to make the story a real beautiful piece whilst also being quite sad. It's nothing. I don't think it's anything that Dreams has ever seen before, and it's not designed for children. It is an adult game, although it doesn't have any graphic scenes, and there's nothing sort of malicious about it, but it is for an adult audience. It is for grown-up people that understand real life problems, and a lot of people are going to relate to Deeno on many different levels. Not necessarily what Deeno has gone through himself, but Deeno is based on human interaction. He's based off of real life situations put into this alternate reality with a character that is not human, but he feels human, and you will feel sorry for him. You will connect with Deeno on a level no different than you would a human, even though he's a robot, and that's what makes it so special.
And with James throughout the story, and I hope you don't mind me saying, but I've been writing it and developing it with him. And if y'all are familiar with my work, you know that I deal with some dark stuff. So a lot of times I can be happy and chipper, even though we have this argument going with Mr. Wushi currently, where he doesn't think I can make happy-go-lucky stuff. But you're not going to see that happy-go-lucky stuff here. You might see a few jokes that I've thrown in, but the thing that brought me into the project was the idea of this main character, and I kind of came in and saw where he was going and was like, he being Jamie, and was like, I want to write with this. I want to do some writing. And y'all all know, if you follow on Twitter, I'm begging people for voice stuff right now. I did do the voice in the trailer, so that was fun. And these two beautiful gents just the music that they created. Look, enough about me. Tell them about the music creation.
Okay, Ven, this is your spotlight, please.
All right. Hi, chat. I'm the guy that's been like chilling in the corner awkwardly for a little bit. But hi, I'm Ven Wave. I met James about a month ago, maybe more than that. I don't know. Quarantine time is weird, but I met him a little while ago, and he just came to me like, "Hey, I have this story idea," and I was kind of expecting, very little. I was expecting a concept, something just like, "Oh, I have an idea for this type of character, and I want this type of game," and that's all I was expecting. But James came with like a whole progression of not just emotional elements, but just a real story. And I'm gonna ramble because I don't like to spoil things even vaguely. But anyway, he came with me with a very, very solid story idea, very well thought out, very emotional. And I don't quite know why he asked me to make music for this, considering in dreams what you're likely to find from me is very silly things made in an hour or so that they're not orchestral, they're not very emotional most of the time, but I'm so glad that he took that very weird chance, because that to me is dreams, is just collaborating with people that maybe you didn't think you would work with them, but I think James and I worked really, really well together on just the trailer so far.
Yeah.
And we've already started crafting some of the other music for the game. And not to toot my own horn, but I think it's sounding really good so far because James has such a strong story to work off of that it kind of is creating itself. Like, it's a really cool project.
So, Jamie,
if that's a decent introduction.
That is a very good introduction. That was pretty much everything summed up very nicely. Very nicely. So, what's your experience been like, Jamie, working with all of us as far as individually upon this project? Like, are we helping you out enough? Are we doing, are we carrying our weight? What are we doing?
I'm absolutely blown away, to be quite honest. I never thought that something like this would even happen for me. And it's no longer my project, it's all of our project. And I say that all the time in our Discord when we're discussing development and everything. I want everybody to put their mark on this as much as I have, because I came up with the concept, and I came up with the whole idea of this in the first place, but it's it's evolved so much beyond that, because I initially went into this thinking, if I can get 2 or 3 people together to work on this, maybe for a couple of months, and make like a 25-minute, 30-minute game, that would be pretty cool, But I put the word out, and Will was one of the first people that came to me and responded towards the project, and was extremely passionate about it from the get-go, and that was amazing. And then Eddie, OTBM Cobra Eddie came along, and he joined the project. Then
Hi, Eddie.
then Marcus Alejandro de Real joined the project, who, by the way, did all of the level design for that trailer. He's absolutely amazing.
Phenomenal.
Absolutely crazy.
Yes, he's crazy talented.
So yeah, then it started off with just like 3 or 4 of us, and we was just chatting about the idea, and it was going well, and we was just drawing concept art, and things was so early, and then all of a sudden Eddie made this sculpt of Deeno and brought him to life, and then Claudio Pantoja came on board to help with the logic. Then we got Zodira on board to help with the logic, and then we got Justin Linville joined then to help with animation. It just evolved so quickly. I mean, Lucid Nebula has only been around for what, 3 months max?
Yeah.
And the fact that 3 months ago this was just an idea in my mind, like, wouldn't it be cool to actually build like a team together, like a mini studio within Dreams, and build a game? And 3 months later, we've got this whole entire plan in place. We've got production going, music development going, we've got a trailer. It's just absolutely crazy, and I just never expected things to go the way they have. We have this podcast as well that we do every week, and we seem to have a real nice community of people that come and join us every week and take their time out to sit and talk to us about craziness and dreams. And it's very overwhelming, and I feel so much gratitude for every single one that has joined this project, and probably more to come if we continue with the crazy ideas that we've got for this game.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it started off as such a simple idea, and as more people got involved in the project, and they started shouting their ideas, and was like, yep, let's add that, yep, let's add that, and then it went from like a 3-month development cycle to God knows when in 2021. It's just absolutely crazy. But I
think
couldn't
we
be
could
happier.
I think we could call a Q3 2021.
Yeah.
We're gonna shoot for Q2, but Q3
Yeah.
I think is after we get everything, because
Yeah.
what we've shown so far is definitely, I think you see the scope that's being shot for, because if I'm involved in anything personally, it's gonna reach that infamous like Kevin Costner level scope. That's just the way it's the way stories work in my brain. But yeah, like everything has been a blast so far. Fluffy says January 2021.
You might get some photos or something of development.
Some
by then.
photos. We'll be selling flip books showing what we're working on.
You can get some Deeno stickers.
Just some selfies. Hey, I'm in the studio.
So, like, I mean, I'm not lying to you guys. Like, I've been wanting to like blow the lid on this for quite some time, and every time I go, because even though, as he says, he's like, it's all of our projects, we all still go back to James because he has a plan. And I, as a person who knows what it's like to have someone, mess up the plan, I like to still respect his wishes, but I've been trying to blow the top on this for quite some time. So, I'm glad that everyone that's in chat seems to like where we're going with it. And for those that missed us showing the trailer, we will show it again. I'm not sure when in this broadcast, but I don't know. If you have to leave, let me know. Maybe we'll just throw it back up on screen. But yeah. Oh, Zadira, hello. And
Hello,
let's see.
Zadira.
Are you guys gonna do some side projects in the meantime?
Great question.
Yeah.
I feel like we can all answer that kind of on an individual basis.
I mean, as a studio, as Lucid Nebula Studios, no, we won't be releasing any other projects. But the individual members of the team are obviously working on their own projects, or they're collaborating with other dreamers making stuff. So you'll definitely see some other stuff from our team members. But as far as from the studio itself, no, Deeno is going to be our main focus point, and we'll continue on that until it's finished.
Well, Liam says he's about to leave now. Are you trolling us to get it shown again? Because you might win this one. I'm not going to lie. Like, you might win this one.
I feel like it's a troll I'm willing to buy into this time.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll show it one more time, and I'm gonna flip back to the screen when it's done. But yeah, any questions that you guys have, just put it in chat, and we'll try to keep up with you while we're going over the rest of the stuff we plan on talking about today. I don't think this is going to be as long of a show as we normally do, but we definitely want to get across to everyone that has questions or anything about the project. So back into the trailer, and we'll be back momentarily.
You will awake in nothingness. And in nothingness, one thing is certain. You will know what it means to be alone. Like those that came before, our time has come to an end. All empires fall. Those left behind dictate the promise of tomorrow. Left for you, a riddle. Traces of our achievements reduced to memories. But with those memories, you will tread on what we were to determine what we will become. If we are to be at all.
So there we go. We have shown again, and let's see here. Can't we tweet it after the podcast? We
Absolutely.
will. Yeah, we will be throwing it out there on social media after the podcast is over, or if Jammy's fingers get to moving over there in his moments of silence. Let me see. We have. Let's see. Oh yeah, you were asked about collabing on other projects, Vinwave. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is going to directly answer the question, but I guess to directly answer Pudazuka's question, and Zadira's kind of sort of, I'm not going to talk about it too much because it's not the point of this, but I did have a big Dreams project idea when I started Dreams at all, but I kind of left it on the back burner as one of those big projects that I feel a lot of creative people have in their lives where they sort of build it to a point because they're so inspired, and then after a while they just kind of let it fall by the wayside and let it become a later project. I'll do that later when I'm smarter, when I'm better at this, when blah blah blah. But I just kind of went for it and started making it, and for me that was really just personal thing, just hey, I'm going to do this for my own sake on my own, and da 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 da. But I'm so glad that like meeting you, like James and Will and Eddie and Zadira, has been awesome because not only thanks to Dreams do I have this confidence to make my own big Dreams project, now I feel confident and really like hungry to help other people on their projects, to collaborate. And where like, yeah, I made the music, but it feels like I was just allowed into James's world, so to speak, and I'm allowed to sort of elaborate on these other details and working with somebody who's sort of on the same page. And like all the sculpting that you guys have done looks amazing. It's so easy to just like picture the atmosphere, and that just doesn't happen when you work alone. So it's just really, really cool that not only have we built a team, but all of our ideas, I feel, are working off of each other really well. And chat hasn't seen half of what we've made yet.
Yeah. So, if I may ask, we had a few questions here I do want to get to before it gets lost in chat. Andy Sund or Anderson D, whatever. Sorry if I'm destroying your name. Bisa, what are your inspirations for this project? So I want to pass that to Jamie. What was
Oh,
your
wow.
original?
So I've always been a massive fan of robots, and it's just always something that I've always loved. But the main inspiration is a little robot you can buy by Anki called Vector, and he's a little tiny robot. As a matter of fact, I can show you.
Uh-oh, we're getting the secrets.
Oh, okay, this is gonna be good.
So this is the inspiration for Deeno. This is
Aw.
this is a little Wally type robot. He's a smart robot, and you just connect him to your Wi-Fi, and he does all sorts of cool stuff. And I just fell in love with it because I've always been a massive fan of robots. And when I came up with the idea for this game, I wanted to create something where people would connect on an emotional level to a character without it being human. Because it's just something that's done so much, with humans in games, you can connect to them because you're human yourself. And I wanted to challenge that with creating a character that, Deeno doesn't have a mouth. He has eyes, but then they don't have he doesn't have that emotional integrity that a human has. It's very difficult to portray emotion with a robot. And I wanted to create a story and a character that can portray that in a way that is more difficult to understand because it's a machine. And I wanted people to connect with this machine on a level they would with a human. And that, the story's sad, and a lot of people, when you actually play the game, you're going to say that I'm a sick person for making such a sad story. But it's one of those stories where it's really sad, but at the same time, it's so beautiful. And I want people to get emotionally attached to this character. I want them to feel his pain, and I want them to understand him. And to be able to do that with a robot is a big challenge because of those things. He doesn't have a mouth. He doesn't have human emotion. He's a machine. And he's learning about all this emotion as he goes through his journey, and you will experience that with him firsthand. Because not only do you not know what is happening until you experience it for the first time, but Deeno is also the same. He's lost his memory. He doesn't know what's going on. So you and Deeno are one of the same. As Deeno finds out what is happening, you are finding out at the same time. And it's like you are both going through this journey together. And I just wanted to create a unique experience where a person can get emotionally attached to a soulless piece of machinery.
Yeah. And I just love pain. No, I'm just No, I also like the thing that brought me in was the fact that a lot of my personal screenplays don't really deal with isolation and like post-apocalyptic type things, but I've always loved them. So it gives me a chance to really dabble in trying to get across everything that he's saying with a character that honestly, like, you're not going to hear from. Like, you have to experience it as you're him. And that intrigued me. And, the idea of, well, I can't say that. Dang it. Can't say that yet, but we're going to bring up something later that it ventures around what I was going to say about that. But we did have another question from Javanicon, which was, do we have an estimated length for the game? And I think you should take that too, Jamie.
Okay. So as of right now, we have finished the script for Deeno. We are just sort of touching up on the end of it. Will and I have been working meticulously on the script to make sure that it is as perfect as it can possibly be. And I just want to give a big shout out for Will. for all the changes and edits that he's put into the script. He basically has took the original concept that I write and just changes it, not where he changes the actual story. He just advances what I'm trying to say in a way that I would never be able to possibly do. And he has put in some amazing work into this script, as much as I have. And with the current, you're welcome. With the length of the script that we have right now, it's difficult to tell how long that will be in gameplay, because the script essentially is the story, and we also have the gameplay elements to implement within that story as well. But I'm hoping that the game will probably be anything between, and this is very broad just because we're such an early development, it will be anything between 1 to 4 hours. And that's because there's a lot of stuff that we want to implement into the game. And as I said, there's a lot of cutscenes, and we don't know at this present moment how long those cutscenes are going to be. There's a lot of mechanics that Deeno is going to have, and we need to make sure that the world is able to use those mechanics in the correct way. So there is still a lot of figuring out to do. Like I said, we are still in the very early development stages. Although we have got a lot done, the actual game's design can be quite complicated in the fact of the way that it is choreographed. And it may not seem like that, but behind the scenes, when we're actually discussing how everything is built, it can become quite complicated. But I would like to say anything between 1 to 4 hours is going to be the runtime of Deeno.
Yeah,
that's the safest. That's the safest thing I can
that
say.
That is
right
the
now.
safest. Yeah, because I mean, we have talked about a lot that, you know, for me, but everyone knows film. Like when I was, you know, writing some of it, and I was like, we might be going into the movie like part of this. Like, you know, we really got to pull this back and start thinking about like the gameplay, and we can't lose sight of that because it is a game. No matter how much I want it to be a movie, I personally want it to be a movie because that's just my thing. Like,
to be fair, though, I would explain, if someone said to me, what is Deeno? I would explain it the same way that I would explain Heavy Rain. If anyone has played that, I would explain it as an interactable movie experience, and that is what Deeno is essentially going to be. The gameplay is nothing like Heavy Rain. Let me just put it out there.
Yeah, please.
What I mean is the style of the
Press
game.
Press R2 for Jason.
Jason.
Sorry.
No, but how Heavy Rain has that very cinematic feel about it, where you feel like you're watching a film with gameplay elements. That's how I feel Deeno is going to turn out. In that sense.
And a lot of that was cured by the fact that once we started developing a lot of the gameplay that we wanted to put in for Deeno, as far as his can I say not what they are, but the abilities that we wanted to give Deeno, we wanted to make sure that people, you know, like that we wanted, like everything we wrote was so that, okay, well now we got to do something with this ability because it's so cool. And it also allows us to play around with different things, including maybe some more comedic elements of storytelling, just to relieve, you know, some of the pressure before we crush you again, before we take your heart into our hands. And but yeah, like it's really
let's just make it very clear that this game will make some of you cry. If you are susceptible to emotional stories, this is a real tearjerker. Like I said before, this game is not made for children.
It's really not.
We're not really holding back.
No. Yeah, we're not holding back. And, you know, I think that Will and I have the same idea when we first went into this. When I originally, you know, handed the concept to Will and I explained what type of game that I wanted to make, he got it straight away. And we're on the same level when it comes to storytelling of how we want the emotion to be portrayed. And we are going all out with this story. We're not holding anything back. And it's the type of story where you think, how can they make a robot a really sad concept? You have no idea. we are We are quite twisted in that regard.
Okay, so do I
Yeah,
get? So I keep bringing it up, so I want to go ahead and get to it. But can I talk about the community challenge?
Yes, please do.
Okay, because I know we have some pretty heavy hitters in this chat right now.
We do actually.
So there is a piece of the game that I had an idea for that Jamie signed off on, where I want people from the community, if you want, this isn't a command, it's just something you can do. We would like for some of you to create literally a 2D, well, it can be 3D, but in 2D form is how it's going to be displayed. 2D version of robot habitats. So it could be an apartment, it could be a random room in a building, it could be anything. Just keep in mind that you're going to be, the player's going to be going through it mostly in a 2.5D kind of style. So I wanted to throw this out to creators, and even if you know people who aren't here that you think would be interested, create just one room, just like MM always asks people to do. To create one room, it's a robot habitat, and at the end of the day, we're going to try to throw all of those into a game level. And hopefully it works out. Also, go ahead.
Sorry, the reason for this is we came up with an idea for the story, and without telling you what that is, just for clarification, for Men for Peace, no, it's not a side scroller. This is a fully 3D game, but there might be an element of 2.5D for a certain particular part of the game, which is what this asset building community challenge is for. But to get back to what I was saying, we wrote a part of the story that Will originally came up with, where there would be all these different types of buildings, and because Dreams is Dreams, and we absolutely love Dreams so much, we wanted to involve the community in the development of this project, albeit we are a closed off community, and everything that we develop is private until we're ready to release what we want to release. We still wanted to involve the community in that, because we wouldn't have nothing if it wasn't for the Dreams community. We wouldn't have this trailer to showcase to you guys now if the Dreams community didn't exist. So we want that Dreams community in this game, and we don't want to lose the aspect of what has made this possible. Although it is quite a serious topic, and we're trying to make this game as professional as we can, no different if we were an official studio, we still don't want to lose that essence of what Dreams is. So that's why we wanted to introduce this community challenge, so that everyone who wants to be involved in this project can be involved as much as they want to be.
Yeah. As well as, well, I'll talk about the other challenge when that comes, but there will be another one that we've talked about that just about anyone could be a part of. And I say just about because, I hope all of you want to be a part of this. That I hope that at least with this trailer and what we bring out subsequently, it will inspire y'all to become a part of the story. And I think that's the overall goal, and that's how we can stick together as the Dreams community, because as Jamie said, none of this would have been possible without the community, without everyone striving to basically work together and help people create, or just have a place to create something they've always wanted to. So, make your robot habitat. And in the coming weeks, we will be calling for them, and you'll be able to share them with us, and we'll let you know when we put it in. So,
Will,
Jamie?
could you just post the link tree, because someone in chat is asking. They said I would be surprised if you guys didn't have a website, and we do have a website.
There you go.
There you go. There is the link tree to all our online channels, including the website.
Yep. Don't have faith in my sculpting skills, but I hope enough people will help you. Hey, That's what it's all about. And thank you, Ragamuffin, for gifting that tier 1 sub for Lucid. And
Thank you very much.
I mean, there are, I don't believe in my skills either. Like, I really wish there were, like, as far as storytelling and cinematography and, like, you know, telling the story, oh, I believe in that. If you give me a Wacom and let me draw, oh, I believe in that. But when it comes to translating that into sculpting in dreams, garbage. I am straight garbaje. Okay. But it's not a competition, though. Like, I'm working on a room as well. And, like, for this section that I'm talking about. And Lord knows Jamie's probably just going to look at it and laugh and then throw it and be like, I'm not using that. But I'm going to work on one. And like I said, I already have, as I kind of put together a mock-up of this section already. But, yeah, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I personally think it's awesome if we have all these super detailed rooms, and then we have a room where it's like, what happened here? Like not what happened to your skill here, but it's almost like a whatever you can put together. Like, that adds to it. Like, you know, we'll see.
Exactly. Just pour your heart into it. It does not need to be perfect. It just needs to be made with a little bit of love, you know?
Yeah. As long as as long as you care about it, I think that's the one thing that comes across in dreams, no matter what your skill level is. If you actually cared about it and put what you could put into it, people can tell that. I mean, not everybody's running around, you know, as great as, you know, Wuxi or Martin Nebelong or all the heavy hitters in our chat right now that could literally, like, I'm sure if I showed them most of my stuff, they just laugh and, like, walk away. But, you know, it's just, as long as you cared about it, I think that'll come through. And there's no reason why that can't be in a game.
Fluffy Panda says, for Jamie, all things need to be perfect. JK, all the love.
No, that's not a joke. That's not a joke.
Where's the
that's
lie?
not a joke, dude. Yeah, I didn't catch it.
No. Yeah, in all seriousness, though, I mean, like, you know, if you are thinking of building a room for this game, please don't think that it needs to be absolutely perfect. I mean, you know, I am very passionate about this project, and I want things from our side of the team to be as crisp and as clean and as perfect as possible. But even I have to put a limit on that. I mean, you know, I could look at this trailer 20 times and say we could have done that better, that could have been better, that could have been sculpted better, because I'm just a perfectionist. And for me, this is like it's our big title, and I just want it to be amazing. And you know, you can go crazy with things sometimes, and I do this on a daily basis. Will tell you, I text him every day with these crazy ideas, and this needs to be more refined, and can we make this a bit crisper? But you've sometimes you just got to put a level on it and say, you know what, it's good enough.
Yeah,
I love this project so much. I have to release something, otherwise it would never be released, because you just love something so much, and I appreciate that other people can feel the same way. So people know what I'm like, and you know, if you've watched us enough, you will know that I'm a perfectionist. But don't let that put you off of creating something and thinking, well, Jamie isn't going to let it in because it isn't perfect. It will be implemented into the game.
Don't listen to him. We've been around long enough. No. Oh, and yes, Zypher is fantastic. Also, Dorian, thank you for saying that my drawings are great that I posted on Twitter. I appreciate you. I try. Now, if I can just make that translate over to dreams, I'll be unstoppable. But about you guys, what have you worked on previously? I'll let y'all start with that.
Well, Will, you go ahead.
Yeah.
What?
Come on, I mean, you've
okay. Released with quotes. Released. Okay. Everyone knows that by now what happened with my not being able to release things in dreams. So on my YouTube, you will see that even though that command did not trigger it. There we go. There we go. If you go to my YouTube, you will see that I've released part 1 of a short film, a film noir called A Good Place to Die. Noir is like my favorite form of storytelling. I like my favorite genre, I guess you would say. And I love detective stories. So I released the first part of that, which I am working on the second part. It's slowed down a bit because of obvious reasons, but but it was a choice that I made. So I also have these short film pitches that I've done with Dreams called Dream Samsara, which is from another script that's one of my original ideas. But it's filled with a bunch of different ideas. So there's that. I think the only thing that I have that I got up on Dreams before my little debacle was a animated image. So if you go to my In Dreams, which is in that LinkedIn, you'll be able to find that. And that's pretty much what I've worked on outside of trying to become. I'm going to use this moment to make my proclamation.
Okay, go.
I posted on Twitter. Most of y'all don't know me, so I don't expect you to have seen it. But my goal is to become the Sam Jackson of Dreams. There is no role too small. No voiceover too weird. I'm trying to get on everybody's stuff. So as far as voiceovers, there's a ton of stuff that people haven't released yet that I'm already on. I finished 4 the other day. I'm trying to get more. So if you need a voice, I'm that guy. And I have range. I can do multiple things. Y'all don't even know.
Gotta interrupt for just a second. If you liked that narration in the trailer, you know who to ask. I don't know which direction to point in, but one of these directions, I think it's that one. Check that guy out.
So hey, I know Rag, I know it's a high bar, but if I just keep doing projects and getting on everybody's stuff, it'll be fine. Reckley Snipes, what's going on? So, I could need a voice soon. Hey, I'm there. Just hit me up. Just hit me up on Twitter. I'll put it down. All you got to do is send me lines. Tell me some little direction if you need something specific, and I got you. But other than that, those are the things that I've worked on. Let's get to the other guys now, because I made a whole proclamation of all types of stuff. So, Vinwave, tell us, what have you worked
on? I guess I'll stick to Dreams because I'm just kind of a weirdo. There's no real way around it. I've done music outside of Dreams for quite a few years, but it doesn't really sound anything like what I've done in Dreams. What I've done in Dreams so far is a lot of just silly songs, and I'm not always proud of them, but what I try to do with all of my really silly music in Dreams is just kind of push the idea to all the dreamers that you don't have to know what you're doing. You don't even really have to polish an idea if you're not sure of it. Just let your ideas exist and get into the practice of making your ideas exist in some sort of real form outside of your head. Because it feels so good and just so rewarding to do that you kind of accept your flaws in the process of doing that. And I don't know, I just feel like that's a really general thing that a lot of dreamers and creative people need. So if my silly music inspires somebody or just clues them in like, oh, I don't have to hit the notes perfect, I just have to sing, that's what I want. Just set people free. That's a weird way to answer what have you done in Dreams.
That's beautiful, though. I was feeling it. I was digging that.
Yeah, that's the short of it. I also have other projects in the works. Some are mine, some are with other people, but I guess those are still kind of secret for the moment. But yeah, I have more than just silly music going on, but I don't know. If that's what inspires people for the moment, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
What about you, James?
So
yeah, get us in there, James.
For me, it's real short and simple. This is the project is Deeno. I did try to create stuff when I was in the early access for Dreams, and my problem was my ambition was always larger than my actual ability. And that put me off of Dreams for quite a while. I tried to make a game in Dreams, and the ambition was just so huge. The undertaking of what would need to be developed was so large to scale. It was just impossible to think that I could do it on my own. And I did reach out when early access was out to see if anyone wanted to collab, but obviously back then everyone was still learning the basics of Dreams and trying to figure out exactly what Dreams is. So it just wasn't the right time. So I left Dreams for a while after early access. I played around with it for a couple of months and I just left it for a bit. And yeah, I just started to develop stories, and I'm a very story-driven person. I'm currently writing a fantasy novel that I hope to release sometime next year. So I just love creating stories, and I just love the idea of directing those stories into something more than just words on paper. So when Dreams finally started to flower, and the community grew and people started to make such amazing stuff, I think that it was time to try again. So I did try again and tried to build some stuff, and again my ambition was just far too big. And that's when I knew that I needed to concentrate my energy in a different way. And so my ambition then changed to creating a story and then wanting to be the creative director against that story, and build a team of people that do know what they're doing, and be able to do it that way. And luckily that is actually what happened, and I'm very grateful for it. um, because there's just so many elements to Dreams that you've got to learn. You've got to learn how to sculpt, you've got to learn how to animate, you've got to learn how to rig a character, you've got to learn logic, you've got to learn how to create worlds, you've got to learn how to make music. There is just so many elements to Dreams, and I think to try and build something on the scale that we're building, it would be impossible to do on your own. And even if you did learn all those skills, it would take you 10 times the length of time to make than what it is now. And even now, it's a long development process. So my philosophy was, well, why should I have to learn all this stuff when there is people out there that are willing to collaborate? Not just don't try and do it all on your own. And that's what I did. So
Yeah.
Well, before we go any further, just because we are getting towards the end of the time that we had set aside, even though we probably will go a little bit longer, we have reached 40 viewers, which is our highest view count ever.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
And
Thank
for
you
that,
to everyone. Thank
40,
you.
42.
Thank you so much.
42 now,
That's amazing.
which is our
What a
highest.
turnout.
So
What a turnout.
I think we need to show the trailer again.
I think we do. Let them people
just
see
to
it.
make sure. So
Yeah.
here we go.
Enjoy everyone, if you haven't seen it yet.
All right, so here we go.
You will awake in nothingness. And in nothingness, one thing is certain. You will know what it means to be alone. Like those that came before, our time has come to an end. All empires fall. Those left behind dictate the promise of tomorrow. Left for you, a riddle. Traces of our achievements reduced to memories. But with those memories, you will tread on what we were to determine what we will become. If we are to be at all.
So
Oh,
there we go.
That shot with the moon gets me every time.
Same.
And who did the storyboards and everything for this? Who came up with that moonshot? That Oh, that last scene was fire? Guess who did that scene? No, I'm just no.
Wait, that last scene was fire. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
But
that's a bit on the nose.
So we do have to give props out to Captain Morgan, or at least I do, because as I told y'all, I'm crap. Okay, when it comes to sculpting, I'm crap. And Captain Morgan, I was talking to him a few weeks ago, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, use anything you want from my setup." And he has a collection called Cap AIO with all the buildings and stuff that he's done. And I had the shot in my mind, but I can't create it, so started using those and put together that last shot. And so I have to give a shout out to him because he had like the perfect assets for that shot. And yeah, it was awesome. And we also have to give a shout out to Eddie and Mr. Wushi for working on the models for Deeno.
Yeah.
Even
you
though
haven't seen half of Eddie's work yet.
Even though we haven't really given you a clear shot of Deeno yet because of somebody, we will
Look, I need to make a disclaimer here, okay? Because Will is dying to show a full high-def shot of Deeno, and the reason why this trailer was built the way it is was to shade and silhouette Deeno in a way where we are showing you it's a robot, but we're not ready to show you all of his features yet because he's just not there yet.
Look, I don't want to show you a straight up. I'll show you the sketches I've done. I'll show you just the sketches, just my sketches. But I'm just saying, like, I feel like, and in time it'll come, but we will give you more. We're gonna give you a lot more in the coming weeks and months leading up to us finishing this game. I just really want to show y'all, like, I really want to show y'all something because we've been working on some really great stuff. Like, everybody that's part of Lucid Nebula has been doing a great job, and we've all been throwing in so many ideas that this project is just going to be great no matter what. I'm gonna be proud of it. I'm already proud of it, and we're nowhere near done. So,
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but Fluffy just asked a really good question in chat right now. I know you can't say much on the story, but what has been the most challenging part of the process thus far?
Oh wow, that is a very good question.
I'll leave that to you guys because it feels like the story is more so been your baby.
Yeah. With the story aside, I think the most challenging aspect, from my opinion, was getting Deeno right, because Deeno is the main. The game is named after him. He's the main thing of this story, and Deeno has to be perfect in order for this to work the way that we want it to work. Because, like I mentioned before, he doesn't have a mouth and he's a robot, so it's difficult to portray the emotion that Deeno is feeling at that moment because he doesn't have eyebrows, he doesn't have a mouth, he doesn't have pupils, he doesn't have a human face, and it's very difficult to portray that with a machine. So for me personally, getting Deeno to a point where he's able to portray that emotion and pull it off in a way where the player can just understand completely what Deeno is going through at that present moment in time was a big challenge, but I think we've got a handle on it. And I think that in those cutscenes when Deeno is feeling certain things, you're gonna really feel it. But for me personally, that was the main thing. But Will might have a different opinion on that.
See, I'm just not. Look. So I'm not saying we got to show everything, but I just want y'all to know what you did see. I had to fight him for, like what you did see, which you didn't see. I had to fight him for, especially on that last shot. So, like, I just want y'all to know this is what we're dealing with. He's a genius, and he runs a tight ship. Okay, but what you got, I had to fight for. So yeah. I will not be made out to be the one. But either way, like, we are going to be showing a lot more very soon. We need to put our heads down and really start full production now. And,
Yeah, I
like,
mean, like,
The foundation is kind of unbelievably well crafted so far, I have to say, just on everybody's end. Nobody is like put forth something that I objectively thought, oh, that's kind of lame or mediocre. Absolutely everything has been special in some way, even if it wound up being changed. It's a really special development process with you guys, gotta say.
oh, you're making me blush now, Ven.
Never mind.
The end game, we will be talking with y'all later about that. That's something we actually can't say right now.
Mm-hmm.
But what we
just
can say is there is an end game.
There is an end game.
Yeah. We just can't talk about it right now.
Yes, yeah. Like I said, I mean, what you got? We literally had to pull out of this man's hands. He was prying to hold on to things, but we have more. We have more that we're going to be showing very soon. And
there's a lot coming.
Yeah,
there is a lot coming.
And to go over again, for those that weren't here when we were talking about it, we are doing a community challenge where we want you to make a robot habitat, whatever that means for you. It could be a robot's apartment. It could be a loony bin for robots. It could be anything you can come up with. And just try to create an understanding that there's going to be like a 2.5D element to it. And we're going to be taking those and actually using them in the game in order to keep the community involved. So I know we have some very heavy hitters in this chat, as I said before, because there really are a lot of you that are really well respected in the game right now. So if you want to create just a robot habitat, feel free to start working on it. There's no timetable. We're not saying have it done by the end of the month or anything like that. Just keep us in your minds and in your hearts. And
what I
throw them at us.
will say is we will be throwing out a template right for this, so that
Yes.
everyone obviously makes it to scale. There will be a template, guys, that we will announce, and
You won't be thrown to the wolves.
no, don't worry.
No.
Just keep an eye out on our Twitter, and we will announce a template, and it'll be public, so you can just take that template and build everything within that, so that we know that it fits to the dimensions that we need.
Robots toilet called. I can't wait. I can't wait, Ledbetter. I can't.
I love
wait.
it. That's what we mean. Just go crazy with it.
Yeah.
Just go crazy.
Like when people run through, we not only want them to be like, "Oh my God, that looks so cool in detail." We want people to put out some things that are just like, "What the hell?" Like, what's going on in this room? And
This is dreams. We don't have to pretend it's not. This is dreams.
Yeah.
And don't worry, like everyone that creates and everyone's creations that are inputted in the game, obviously you'll all be credited in the credits at the end of the game, and you'll all be mentioned for your work within it. So just get to it. It's gonna be cool.
This isn't a ploy to steal all of your shit.
Yeah.
Right. So essentially,
Do
thank
it
you all for
for
signing up
us.
to join Lucid Nebula Studios.
Thank you.
We're now 70 strong.
Andy Sand has asked, how are you prepared for bumps in game development and the infamous delay curse? I have a whip, and I'm not afraid to use it. No.
Told y'all.
No.
Now I'm blushing.
We just call him Jammy Crunch Time James. That's what we call him.
No, we have a consistent plan in place, and now that this trailer is out the way, because a lot of our time and resources have been spent on making sure that this trailer is what we wanted it to be for release. So a lot of our time has been spent on that as of late, but now that this is out the way, we have a concise plan in place for the development process. A bit more concise than it should be for a Dreams project, to be honest, but it's very meticulously planned, very detailed, and yeah, we should be able to stay on time. But with anything that creative like this, especially in a group of 9 people like we have here,
Yeah.
life's going to get in the way, things are going to happen, and we're prepared for that. That's why we've put a 2021 on there, because we don't know ourselves when this game is going to be finished. We have a rough idea, but like I said, you can't prepare for the unexpected. So
Yeah. So
Which is-
while we're at this 53, because Fluffy is reminding us as we go, it's like every 10 we have to play the trailer again just to make sure everyone sees it. So we're
like
gonna go ahead
Twitch
and yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead. What was that?
No, like Twitch version of a bean counter or something.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, basically. So we're gonna go ahead and show it again while we still have people here, and when we come back, we'll pretty much be calling saying our goodbyes, unless there's something else that Jamie and Vin need to get into. I don't know. Jamie said he wanted to talk a lot this time, so we'll see. But yeah, anyway, here we go.
You will awake in nothingness. And in nothingness, one thing is certain. You will know what it means to be alone. Like those that came before, our time has come to an end. All empires fall. Those left behind dictate the promise of tomorrow. Left for you, a riddle. Traces of our achievements reduced to memories. But with those memories, you will tread on what we were to determine what we will become. If we are to be at all.
PlayStation.
So there we go. Yeah, big old sandstorm. And
Do.
and
Sorry, the sandstorm song. Ignore me.
embrace the Vin wave.
Before we wrap all this up, I just want to mention, while everyone is still here, that now that the cat is out the bag and everyone knows what we're developing, as the development process goes on now, we're going to be hitting full-time development within the next week or so. We're going to really start delving into this to make sure we get as much done as possible. We will be more open with you guys now, and we want to be open and share stuff with you now that the cat's out the bag. So, ask us questions, post to us. We're going to be posting some stuff as we develop, so you can see the progress of Deeno as we go along, and expect some more stuff from us. There's going to be more events. There's going to be more challenges. We plan to be very active within the Dreams community.
Yeah.
So if you like what we're doing and you want to support us, please follow us on Twitter, share the trailer around, get people hyped for it, because we really want to build a community within Dreams for this project, because it means so much to us, and we just want to share it with you as much as possible. So if you feel the same way about this as we do, then the support goes a long way.
Yeah, definitely.
Very
And
much.
Vinwave, is there a message that you would like to give out to the people before we close shop for the day?
Stay true to yourself, and I know that that's really vague and cliche, but in a dream sense, don't bother polishing all of your ideas down to like the shiniest diamond, because sometimes even a rough diamond is still a diamond. Stay you. That's all I got.
Well, I like that.
Yeah, me too.
I like that. So,
Nice.
I would say we'll go ahead and hand this off to someone. And remember that if you didn't get to catch the whole show, we are on all major podcasting platforms. And so you can listen to it audio only at any time, or you can catch replays of the show on the Lucid Nebula Studios YouTube, as well as the Mighty Vicious YouTube. So, oh no, Trix just got home.
Tricks.
We're gonna play it again.
We have to show it for Tricks.
I feel like we do.
got to. We can't be that evil. Everyone deserves to see it live if they come to the Twitch podcast.
We love you, Tricks. Happy to see you, by the way.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set up for our raid, which we're going to take you over to Mr. Wushi. And, we're going to show the trailer one more time. One more time. And with that, love you all. Thank you all for coming through. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much for everyone that's came. It's amazing that we've actually broke our record of how many people is come to watch the show, and the release of this trailer is just crazy.
Yes, thank you everyone for being here. Super lovely.
Indeed. So, peace.
Ignore me.
You will awake in nothingness. And in nothingness, one thing is certain. You will know what it means to be alone. Like those that came before, our time has come to an end. All empires fall. Those left behind dictate the promise of tomorrow. Left for you, a riddle. Traces of our achievements reduced to memories. But with those memories, you will tread on what we were to determine what we will become. If we are to be at all